Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Q&A. This one will be part 15 for my Walking Dead Season 5 or leading up to Q&A videos. All right, yes, so that is part 15. Oh man, so it's been a lot. I've done quite a few of these, and I've had fun doing them this summer, you know, leading up to season 5. This one, basically, these are from people who private messaged me, and essentially these are types of questions where I can't dedicate an entire video to them, doesn't make sense to, but yet again, they're good for a Q&A where I can go through, you know, 7 to 10 and get my thoughts on these, and you know, I have fun doing them. I hope you guys have fun watching them. So that said, we've got 1 month left until the premiere of The Walking Dead, counting it down like clockwork. You know, and if you guys have any other awesome video suggestions or questions for another Q&A, because I'll probably do one more before the series starts, maybe 1 or 2, because the week leading up to it, you know, I get pretty amped, so I like to do a lot of videos leading up to it. So send me what you guys have. Send them to me in a private message here on YouTube. You know, I don't have content lock, so you should be able to send it through, and I should be able to go ahead and make some videos based on them. So I want to thank you guys for all the support this year, especially this summer, even though The Walking Dead's not been on. You know, I feel like people have been interested to watch the reviews of the trailers and different things like that, and you know, it keeps me going, keeps me interested, keeps me you know, plus I've been watching the DVD for season 4 because it's such an awesome season too, and had a lot of fun with that. So cool. So send me your guys' questions or video suggestions if you have any. That said, first question comes from gundersen, and he or she asks, "Hey Trev, a bit unordinary question from me. Who do you think would have survived the longest if no one was writing the story?" So I think what he's basically saying here is, who do I think would survive the longest if it was completely real and no one was writing? So you didn't have Robert Kirkman, you didn't have the TV show writers, they weren't writing in the story. Who would actually survive the longest? And for me, if you look at, we go back to season 1, you go on from there, I would probably say that, especially in the TV series, I think Shane would have won that battle between him and Rick. I mean, if you think about it from a realistic point of view, Shane had him at gunpoint and he didn't put him down, right? In reality, would that have gone that way if Shane had him at gunpoint? Shane had already killed Randall, Rick had already beaten him up, Rick had taken his group from him. I think in reality, Shane probably would have pulled that trigger before Rick would have had a chance to knife him. So, or talk him down and then knife him. Even though you could say, well, he was his best friend, so that's why he was having mixed emotions about it. And, you know, even though he killed Otis before, he knew what was, you know, how difficult it was to take a man's life. And he even talked about, you know, how difficult it is. Nothing easy about taking a man's life. But I still think Shane would have taken that one. I think so. I really do. Because, you know, in the real world, nice guys do kind of finish last in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to killing each other. You know, so a lot of times the more evil, conniving type person will be the first to go after it, you know, that type of thing, if you think about it. So at least with that scenario, I think that would be it. Also, you know, a lot of the characters we see survive at this point in the show, you got characters like Beth, you've got characters like maybe, I don't know, Maggie's pretty tough for a chick. I guess that's okay. But any characters like that, you can kind of use your imagination, go through and think, unless someone's protecting them or unless they've got a good position, like they're at the prison all the time and they don't really go out very much, you know, everybody in a zombie apocalypse, I think, at some point or another would have to defend themselves. Now, Herschel's real tough because he's, you know, he's the farmer and everything, a really tough guy. But I think that if he didn't have a shotgun or anything with his age and all that, similar to Dale, any characters like that, I think, that couldn't take care of themselves, sooner or later they would find themselves one-on-one with a zombie because they're everywhere. You can't keep someone from that. And I think that, you know, it would be a lot different in terms of that, and in terms of, you know, the younger, like Carl, the kids and that kind of stuff would be harder for them to survive. So, yeah, I would say, but for the most part, the biggest change is that Rick would be dead, I think. I think so. And would Daryl be dead? If the governor captured Daryl, yeah, he would be dead. And so would Merle, I think. So, yeah, if no one was writing it, there'd be a lot of changes. So anyway, there's just a few. Next question is from Stuart McIntyre. And he says, favorite secondary group in the TV series. And he lists off the Vatos, Randalls group, Woodbury, Joe's group, or the termites. Okay, great question, man. Thanks a lot for that one. First off, the termites, definitely not. Definitely they're not one of my favorite groups. I don't find anything likable about them. Joel's group was likable to a degree, you know, but they had Len and some other members like that. Aside from Joe himself, I didn't find the rest of the group that likable. In terms of the Vatos, I just hated the Vatos all around. I thought it was a weird idea. I thought it was, you know, it was a good twist, but I didn't really like the Vatos all around, especially for what they were doing and just kind of how it played out. It was a little bit weird to me. Randalls group and Woodbury. Randalls group, no. I mean, we didn't really get to meet them too much, but we knew Randall and what happened, and they didn't seem like they were very cool people. So I would say definitely not. With regards to, because weren't Dave and Tony part of Randall's group? I think they were, yeah. And then, of course, Woodbury. I would have to go with Woodbury as my favorite secondary group when it was hot and they had all the members. Because at one time, think about it, they had Tyrese's group, they had the governor, they had Martinez, they had Merle, they had Andrea, they had, well, Michonne never really stayed very long. But they had all of those characters, and we got to really see part of their side. The governor's second group would be another group you should include in that. I didn't really like that second group too much, aside from maybe Tara and Lily. You know, they were good characters. Peter, I think, was a good character. Mitch was an asshole. And yeah, so I would have to go with Woodbury for sure. I think Woodbury was a really cool group to see, and I really liked Martinez and all the characters they had there. Really, really cool group. So that's my answer to that one. Thanks, Stuart. It's a good question. Next question is also from another Stuart. This one's Morrison, though. Stuart Morrison. And he says, have you heard any news about the webisodes, plot, date, etc.? They should be hitting soon. I think last year they were late. I think Season 2's webisodes for leading up to Season 2 were released in August, something like that, or early September. Season 3's, they didn't get them out until like a couple weeks before the premiere. And this Season 2, or I mean, same with Season 4. So this season, I think, is probably going to be similar, that we'll probably get them in October this time, like right at the end of September, early October, if they're even doing them anymore. I don't even know if they're still doing them, but I like to see the webisodes. I think they're interesting. I just like to see more crossovers with the TV series, you know, like the first set of webisodes we had. Cold Storage was a weak tie-in. It was like a storage locker that was Rick's or something, or the Grimes family. It's like, what? How is that even a tie-in? Some of them are reaching a bit. So, yeah, I'd like to see, you know, something that ties in more to the series. So, good question. Thank you. Next question is from Shushman16, and he or she asks, hey, Trev, if you have time, video suggestion, which period of time in between seasons of The Walking Dead has been the hardest wait? Well, really, really good question, too. Hardest wait, so the most difficult to wait through, where you couldn't wait into seeing the next season. This season has not been an easy wait, I don't think. I mean, you know, because we want to see what happens with Terminus, and we're left at a cliffhanger in between. But, you know, that's a tough one to say. I think, okay, Season 2, this is going to be between, okay, Season 1 to Season 2. That wait was like, it was pretty bad because we only had 6 episodes and we were excited, but we didn't know the potential of the TV series at that time. I didn't even know if it was going to continue or what it was going to be like, or, you know, what was going to happen. So that wasn't too bad. I wasn't as into it. After Season 2, the wait for Season 3 was really tough, especially once we heard the governor was going to be in it, especially once we heard Merle was returning. Man, that was, and Michonne was there as well, too. So that was a really tough wait. But I think I'd have to go for the Season 4 wait out of any, because here's why. We had 16 episodes in Season 3, okay, and they ended at a cliffhanger where Rick's group won between Woodbury and the prison, but the governor was still out there. Even though he had become a team killer and killed off a good portion of his team, I couldn't wait to see what they were going to do with him. And they really kept it back for a while. They didn't give him back to us in the series until episode 5. Episode 5, and then 6 we got to see fully. So, of Season 4. So for me, the toughest wait for me was between the end of Season 3 and the start of Season 4. Even worse than this year, because even though this year we had to wait for the termites, we're just kind of getting to know them. And we're just, you know, it is a pretty big cliffhanger. So it's really exciting. It's been a tough wait. But definitely that wait with wanting to see what was going to happen with the governor, what they were going to do with him, the questions, and leading up to Season 4 for me was like, oh, it was so hard, man. I just wanted to press like fast forward on life sometimes. Like, you know what? Got to work all week. Let me just I wish sometimes I could do that. You ever see the movie Click where he's got the remote? Wish I could just like fast forward life sometimes to when The Walking Dead starts. You know, I'm sure you guys know what I mean. So, or at least some of you. So, great question, man. Thanks a lot. Definitely leading up to season 4. Also, the trailer for season 4 I thought was the best too, out of all of them. I thought it was really, really good. Best trailer they've done so far, I think. Okay, we'll do another one from Tim Strohmeyer. He says, or Stroheimer, whichever. Hey there, Trev. I was wanting to ask you something about the spin-off series of The Walking Dead. Do you think they will actually show us a different group from a different country rather than the U.S.? I feel like it would just be the same show if they did another American group, and I wouldn't have any interest in watching it. You know, that's a good point. Tim brings up a really good point, which is that if it's too familiar to the original series, you're just going to want to go watch the original series. It's not going to be unique enough for you to really enjoy it. I agree with him for the most part. I would like to see a different country. I'd like to see the UK. I think it's a great landscape. I think it's a great, you know, they really love zombies there, you know, in the UK. It's condensed, obviously. If you did like London or something, that would be really, really cool because of the population and how crammed in all the houses are and everything. You guys remember Shaun of the Dead? If you ever saw Shaun of the Dead, something like that type of location. I don't think they will, but I'd like to see something like that. I hope it's nothing like the Walking Dead we know of now. I hope it's a major city. If they do the U.S., I want to see like New York or like Detroit or like, I don't know, Chicago or maybe California or just someplace different. But I hope it's not the U.S., to tell you the truth, because you're right. It's a lot like the other one. We're going to see them travel to Washington, D.C. We're going to see stuff like that. I'd like to see a different country entirely. So, yeah, I think the U.K. is a great idea. I think that's what they should do, to tell you the truth. The only thing that might be a problem with that is if they do a location like that, will it be too expensive? Will it be too difficult? I don't know, but that's what I would like to see. So, great question, man. Thanks a lot. And we'll do, let's see, one last one, and then I'll wrap up. Last question is from Logan, or at least that was his name in the message. He said, hey, Trev, with the announcement of the spinoff series, I was wondering, why doesn't AMC just give all their money going into putting the original Walking Dead TV series? This way, maybe we could have more episodes. So rather than like the spinoff having 6 or 12 episodes, the original Walking Dead could maybe have like 22 or 30 or something. Is basically what he's asking, and they could do a lot more high budget and better stuff. What are my thoughts? Okay, great question, man. My thoughts on this one are basically, I think everybody gets burned out. I think that's why. I think it's because 16 episodes with what they're doing is about capacity. They probably have discussed it and thought about, hey, could we do 20? Could we do 25? Could we do 30 and have it be like a double season type thing? And I think the reason why they have not is because the actors and the people involved, all of the people involved, what they do is as much as they can do during that period of time. You know, the winter time, of course, is coming, things like that. It's difficult to manage that. I just think that there's only so much you can do with a certain crew of people. There's only so many episodes that the directors can direct that they have in that show. There's only so many episodes the writers can get done in time. In order to do it properly, you have to split them. You have to split it, and you have to do entirely another series with an entirely different crew, with everybody, new actors, new actresses, new production people and writers and everything, right? Because you can only get so much per time out each season. You can only get so many episodes done with the same amount of people. Now, could you add in more people and do stuff like that? Well, you could, and have like only Rick and his group in half the episodes and have another group. I don't know. I think it makes more sense the way they're doing it now. And I think that the group that's doing the original Walking Dead is probably doing as much as they can possibly do, as fast as they can, to get it out for us without affecting the quality, which I feel like it's been good quality. So I think that's why they haven't done it. I think that's why. So I think that's why they're doing 2 series, so that they can get an entirely different crew, entirely different people involved, make an entirely different show. Also, it'll be totally new, so we won't have a comic book series. We won't have any idea what's going to happen. We won't know any of the characters. We won't know anything. And I think that's an interesting concept, too. Get good people involved and see what happens. So let me know what you guys think about all of that. all the questions we had here today, what your comments are on any of them. Feel free to answer them yourself too in the comments below, and what you think. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. Send me, private message me your questions for the next Q&A and any video suggestions that you have. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll call it here. That's it for this one, guys. See you for the next one. It's Trev, as always. Stay in peace.